chalk up another special teams touchdown for the Ottawa Redblacks.
And it is 38-14.
The screen to Wilder. Inside the 5. Touchdown. Under pressure. Gets it away. Into the end zone. What a comeback. Wide open receiver. Touchdown Elliott. Right side. And that's a touchdown BC.
Doesn't it take you back? The annual Canadian National Exhibition underway in downtown Toronto. And the Argos, a different sort of midway, very close at BMO Field, about to get underway as well, trying to build on a big comeback win a couple of weeks ago when they host the BC Lions.
McLeod Bethel Thompson, what a game 2 weeks ago in his first start, bringing his team back from a 24-point deficit. But now teams have film on him. He needs to play even better if these Argos plan on winning today.
He's 2-2 as a starter, but in last week's win against Edmonton, Travis Lulay brought back memories of the way things used to be in British Columbia.
Sean Lemon, the spotlight is on you. You said these guys can't block you one-on-one. It's probably not going to happen anyway, but you're begging for it. One-on-one, please.
The Lemonator right back in Toronto where he was just a few weeks ago after a couple of seasons with the Argos. Welcome to the CFL on TSN as Week 10 continues. You got Davis Sanchez there. You got Milt Stegall down there. And welcome back Jim Barker, the guy who brought Sean Lemon to the Argos a couple of years ago. He is certainly a focal point in this game today, Milt. These teams both coming off big wins. You know Lemon's going to be fired up to face his old team.
Sean Lemon is sour. That was a little play on words right there. He's very sour. He felt he was dealt wrong when he was traded to the BC Lions, and he said, like you said, he said there's no one on that team can block him one-on-one. My eyes, and that's my good eye right there, is going to be on Sean Lemon to see if he can live up to his words.
Why did he say that no one can block him one-on-one and dare these guys to block him one-on-one? Because he wants the opportunity to go one-on-one to prove to Mark Trestman that they were wrong by trading him. I love the subliminals. And Mark Trestman, on the other hand, always take the high road. Sean Lemon is a good man. He can say whatever he wants to say.
The BC Lions need to put pressure on McLeod Bethel Thompson. Last week, Ottawa sat back, let him throw, probably hoping he would throw some interceptions as a young quarterback. Didn't happen, cost him a win.
Yeah, I agree.
They better generate some pressure, whether it's Sean Lemon or through linebacker.
Odell,
they were good against the Eskimos, but you're right, big 24-point comeback by the Argos in their last game. What exactly did Lemon have to say?
I just feel like they couldn't block me when I was there playing for the Argonauts, and I don't see them blocking me this weekend either.
And it's the Lemonator, Sean Lemon, with his first sack as a BC Lion.
Who are you going to double team? You're going to double team me, or you're going to double team Odell? I can line up over any one of the offensive linemen and beat any one of them, so they're going to have their hands full this week.
Clayton Rep of Vernon, BC. You could win groceries for a year if the kickoffs return for a touchdown in today's game, thanks to Safeway Sobeys' $1 Million Touchdown to Win promotion. Because if it should happen a second time, you could be in store for $1 million. Good luck, Clayton. Now to another exhibition of football at the CNE grounds. Rod Black and Dwayne Ford.
Thank you, Rod Smith. Hello, Canada. An exhibition indeed, but it's not an exhibition game by any stretch. It is the X Factor today. The national exhibition on right beside BMO Field, and why not whack-a-mole before you get started here today? Step right up, step right up. Two teams coming off thrill rides in their last game experience.
Yeah, and the guy providing many of the thrills for the Toronto Argonauts, their quarterback who makes his second start today, McLeod Bethel Thompson. 4 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in his starting debut 2 weeks ago, a win over Ottawa. I'm looking to track him down. Be a guy who wasn't allowed to touch him when he was a Toronto Argonaut as they were teammates, but Sean Lemon will be chasing after his former teammate and quarterback today.
Diversity is strength. The campaign has begun, and no one epitomizes that more maybe in the league than Wally Buono. His 440th appearance as a head coach, his final season. And Mark Trestman, the defending Grey Cup champion coach, a guy who won in Montreal, has won in Toronto, and finally got his team back in the win column last week in an incredible come-from-behind victory over the Ottawa Redblacks. 2-5 Argos, the 3-4 Lions. Two teams coming off comeback wins. What an interesting formation for the Argos to start this off as they come out in the flying V. And we're underway here at BMO Field on exhibition day. And Jeremiah Johnson back in the lineup. Hand got up in his grill, and out on the field comes Travis Lulay. Orange against the double blue today. Two teams with something to prove.
Yeah, and Travis Lulay at the helm of these BC Lions. They seem like a different team with number 14 under center, provides veteran leadership and experience. Not to mention pedigree as a Grey Cup champion and a former league MOP.
Lulay and the Lions. Their comeback win, 10 down to the Edmonton Eskimos. Called it the biggest win of this season so far, and see if they get some footing here early on. Maybe ride some of that momentum. Play action. Nice fake there by Lulay and Jeremiah Johnson, but a rare drop from the sure-handed Manny Arsenault.
Yeah, terrific play action there as you take a look at the BC Lions offense. Kevin Elliott, former Toronto Argonaut, had his best career season here in Toronto. Has earned a starting spot in that receiving corps. Torrey Watson draws back into the starting lineup this week as well in a little bit of a ratio shuffle. Hunter Stewart back for his second game. Second start of the season at left guard, former first-round pick back in 2013.
2nd and 10 for Lulay. He wires one up near the 40-yard line, complete. Big toss to Brian Burnham. And a big gain moves the sticks immediately. A 2nd down conversion on a 22-yard pass to Brian Burnham.
Yeah, great look, essentially through the eyes of quarterback Travis Lulay into that window, in which he connects with Burnham. One of his go-to guys for sure in that receiving corps.
Burnham targeted 13 times 2 weeks ago. Last week, just 1 time. Already they go to him out of the chute here today. Near the far side, a pickup of 8. And the toss out. Shaq Johnson comes back home. Brampton, Ontario native.
A quick look at the Toronto Argonaut defense. Frank Beltre is in at defensive end, off-season signing. Former Calgary Stampeder, one of the guys you could argue made Sean Lemon expendable. That Toronto defensive line. Justin Tuggle continues to start at middle linebacker. He's done a good job. We thought we might see Bear Woods back patrolling the middle this week. Of course, on the corner, former BC Lion Ronnie L faces his former teammates for the first time.
Double tight ends. Jeremiah Johnson back in that lineup for the BC Lions, and he gets shoved back, but he gets the first down easily as they march into Toronto territory. Again, an Argo team that had the bye week. Chance to celebrate that stunning victory over the Ottawa Redblacks when they were 24 down. Mark Trestman's team was desperate at that time. Picking up their 2nd win against 5 losses. And out of the backfield. That's Kevin Elliott, who, as you mentioned, Dwayne, had one of his best seasons, his breakout year in Toronto.
Well, we talked about the difference Travis Lulay seems to have made at the quarterback position for the BC Lions since returning to that starting lineup. That was never more evident, perhaps, than in their comeback win last week over the Edmonton Eskimos.
Already putting Elliott to work. 2nd down and 2. Hand it off to Johnson again, and he is stuffed. Dylan Wynn got the grasp first, and we'll see where the spot is. It'll be 3rd and almost 3 yards, 2.5 yards. Travis Lulay looking over at the sideline. Wally Buono looking as well, and I do not see Ty Long coming out yet. Wally's taking a good long look, and he does bring out his kick team on second thought.
Yeah, well, I suspect that it may have been as much as anything a determination as to whether it was going to be the field goal team or the punt team. Not so much a case of thinking about going for it. Well, they are in that kind of in-between territory in the field around midfield where you think a little more about gambling.
CFL's leading punter is Ty Long. And look at this. Wally Buono, bag of tricks.
And this is one, you know, as I talked about this field position and how teams are more likely to gamble in the kicking game around midfield. A part of it you see right here.
Cody Fajardo, who played here as well, gets the direct snap and throws it out.
And that's something, quite frankly, that the Argonauts should have been more prepared for, given the field position. Often in that territory, you stay in, leave your defense on the field, you stay in a punt-safe formation, meaning you're essentially watching for the fake, being prepared for the fake. BC lined 2 guys up out wide. Argos only sent 1 guy out with them. That's why they were able to play it. First guy went with the first cover man.
Both Foster, a linebacker, with the catch on that third down. Direct snap to Fajardo. Fajardo's 1 for 1 today. Elliott, who has been in football limbo before he got to BC, fired his agent. Kind of wondered what was going on in his football life, but now he's back. Here was a guy who was also banished from Toronto under Scott Milanovich with Fidel Hazelton and Torrey Gurley a couple of years ago. 9th play of the drive, 2nd and 10 from the 31 for the Lions. Lule had handed it off to Jeremiah Johnson, who's got room, and down inside the 20-yard line, close to the 15. And a good romp by Jeremiah Johnson. And already, Dwayne, a couple of key 2nd down and 3rd down conversions for the Lions in this impressive drive.
Yeah, and you talk about things that make a difference for the BC Lions offensively. A healthy Jeremiah Johnson is high on that list as well. Nice work from the O-line. Shaq Johnson as well did a terrific job staying on his man, Marcus Roberson, allowing Johnson to pick up that 1st down yardage.
Down they go inside the red zone, inside that 20-yard line. And the ball is loose, and Lule had to pounce.
Well, a little stop, drop, and roll there for Travis Lule. Saved that from being too much of a loss. Looks like they only gave up about a yard on that one as he was able to roll forward a little bit before he was down by contact.
So another 2nd down conversion coming up here for the Lions. Arsenal at the bottom of your screen. Lule looking this way, on the roll, decides to pitch it out and throw it away, and this will bring out the field goal unit. And this drive has eaten up an enormous amount of time in this 1st quarter clock.
Well, Lule looks like he's going to fake the hitch out to the wide side, so he looks like he's going to throw way out here, but he ends up trying to go screen back to the right side to his running back, Jeremiah Johnson. He trips, as you see, going into the line.
Intentional grounding, BC number 14. It's a loss of down. It's going to be 3rd down at the spot from where he threw from. 3rd down.
So that is referee Ben Major with us today. Yes, that call, that flag on the grounding by Lule. So that moves Ty Long back a little further. This will come from the 34-yard line.
Tough situation on that botch screen because they were running it, setting up that hitch screen. They were quads out to the field, meaning they're a single receiver side on the boundary. Only one option to go to on that side. If that's covered, when the screen goes down, you got nothing.
Ty Long puts it up and puts it through. Drained the clock practically. The Lions, and finally McLeod Bethel Thompson will get a series here, almost at the midway point of the 1st quarter. Guy who led the Argos to an incredible victory 2 weeks ago. The CFL on TSN is brought to you by the Nissan Titan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League. Gotta go up in one of those, partner. Okay. Do the game from there, call a play, go around.
I suspect by next year we might be doing games with the camera on one of those.
Yes, the gondola cam. Cloud Bethel Thompson, his first touch of this ball game. And Thompson dishes it out. James Wilder Jr. Last time he touched the football on this field. One of the greatest comebacks ever by the Toronto Argos. 9 seconds remaining.
Well, Wilder among those you want to get involved early. Same with Anthony Coombs, who is making his 2018 debut after battling injury to start this season. Ryan Bombin, traded for the second time this year, makes his first start as a Toronto Argonaut at guard this week.
James Wilder bashes close to a first down. Ryan Bombin, a new daddy.
Yes, sir.
Earlier this week. Second time, so congratulations to the Bombin family.
And Bombin will add some ratio flexibility for this team as well as he replaces the American.
Look
Brandon
who's back in town, Dwayne Ford.
Yes, sir. Sean Lemon on that defensive line. He and Odell Willis, the bookends, team 9-1-1. Jordan Herdman continues to start at middle linebacker for Solly Elamimian. He's against his twin brother Justin today.
Wilder again, and James Wilder has done everything so far in this drive. He caught a pass and has had 2 rushes. This one for 13 and right down to the 41-yard line.
Yeah, going a little old school with from the 2-back set. Nice kick out block from his fullback, Declan Cross, on that play. But if they can get Wilder going early, that'd be a huge boon for the Toronto Argonauts offense. It was when he got involved last year that this team picked up its game.
Little dump pass as the blitz was on, and Bethel Thompson sucked those blitzers in, but there was nobody to get that football.
Yeah, well, this is the same thing that just happened to BC a minute ago, trying to throw a screen to the running back. They had it set up very well, but Wilder tripped coming out of the backfield, leaving Bethel Thompson with nowhere to go with the football.
So second down and 10. Cloud Bethel Thompson, his second start in the Canadian Football League. Kind of a late bloomer in the CFL. 30-year-old San Francisco. It's a completed pass over the top, down near the 25. First catch of the day, and I'm sure not the last for S.J. Green.
S.J. had a big game 2 weeks ago in that comeback as well, catching passes from McLeod Bethel Thompson. KG veteran, the league's unofficial comeback player of the year in 2017.
Somebody's got to come up with a comeback player of the year award.
Well, let's find a sponsor.
End zone bound, but an overthrow. Looking for S.J. Green again. I don't even think you need a sponsor. Why don't we just the comeback player of the year? We'll make the trophy.
Yeah.
Go in your workshop. Here's S.J. and you're right. What a comeback year that was.
Remarkable. You look at the numbers in that game against Ottawa. You know, you talk about that game potentially being a turning point for the Argos, maybe a turning point for their go-to receiver, S.J. Green, as well.
Bethel Thompson tried to find Armani Edwards, who he hit for that thrilling victory. That south end zone.
So that incompletion is going to bring about third down, and the Toronto Argonauts field goal team. Zach Medeiros handling the kicking duties.
Ronnie Peffer was hurt, so Medeiros, a former Ottawa Red Black, who handled the punting and kicking in the Grey Cup season. Now with the Argos, this is his second attempt as an Argonaut. And Medeiros puts it through to tie the game. Made it in St. Thomas, Ontario. And where did he play?
Well, he finished up in purple and silver at Western.
The Manny Show, live and direct from Toronto today. Hear more from Manny Arsenault. Lions and Argos tied at 3. Only Don Shula and George Halas in professional football have more wins than this man. South of the border, the CFL's all-time winningest coach. the legend, Wally Buono. This is the farewell tour officially, he says. Diversity is strength, of course, with Anthony Calvillo before the game, who knows a lot about that very strong word, but the back of the shirt for the BC Lions says everything, because they salute Wally Buono in the Lions' den. Everybody honored, each team honoring. And Travis Lulay's going down. First sack of the ball game. Then Darby. So that is actually the second because of the Lulay fumble. They did award a sack there earlier, so a pair of sacks now.
You'll see Alden Darby here. He gets picked up initially, but recovers so quickly after being cut down by Jeremiah Johnson that he's able to get back in on the play. And the DBs get so excited when they get in on the blitz package, they never want to let those opportunities slip away.
Argos came into this game last in the CFL in sacks. Just 7, already 2 today, and this just gets back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be a very quick 2-and-out for the BC Lions.
I mean, and that brings about, Rod, part of the question with Sean Lemon. A guy who's had been incredibly productive in his previous couple of seasons as a Toronto Argonaut, but had only 1 sack in double blue to start this season. So he gets moved to the West Coast. It's Beltre and Troy Davis at the defensive end spots now.
Ty Long. Artis Jackson. He's got such quick feet.
All right now, all right now, all right now.
Wildman already howling here today in Toronto. A couple of big carries for James Wilder Jr. Last year's CFL Rookie of the Year. Tie ball game. Exhibition day in the 6. Welcome back to the CNE grounds here off the Lakeshore, the National Exhibition on. My partner loves football fields more than anything in the world except for food buildings. And James Wilder Jr. earlier today, his pregame meal, to stop at the food building. I don't think his nutritionist would like that, but I'll tell you what, whatever he's eating, it's working so far.
That's right, his taste buds enjoy that.
MBT, McLeod Bethel Thompson. Anthony Coombs' first touch of 2018. And it's almost redundant after a while. It seems season to season we keep talking. We talked earlier about comebacks. It's almost a comeback every season for this young man.
Yeah, he's really battled injuries throughout his career. Former first-round pick. Selected by our own panelist, Jim Barker. First round, 3rd overall at the University of Manitoba.
Winging it out. James Wilder Jr. turning on the Jets down the sideline. And the whistle as he heads to the end zone, but he stepped out of bounds.
Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know what else was in that basket with those fries, but he might want to be eating that before every game the way James Wilder Jr. has started off here. His 4th touch of the game already. He was targeted on a 5th play. You remember the screen pass where he tripped coming out of the backfield that fell for an incompletion. He's looking a whole lot like Superman to start this one.
Wilder in a contract impasse in the offseason. So happy to be back, though, with the boatman. Here he goes again. Right now, he is very difficult to track down so far, and they're going to have to start honing in on number 32, Bola Combo. Brought him down, but a pickup of about 4.
James Wilder was really the catalyst for the Toronto Argonauts, I thought, last season. Once he made his way into the starting lineup around mid-season, things really started to pick up for them offensively. It started to click as they had a little more balance suddenly between the running game and the passing game.
89 yards right now for the Argos, 67 from Wilder. This is almost picked off. 2nd and 6, and it's going to likely bring out the field goal unit once more. You know, you think about Wilder's contributions today and last year, as you mentioned, in his rookie season. Think about the playoff games and how big a couple of those catches were. Argos arguably don't even get a sniff of getting to the Grey Cup without James Wilder Jr.
Yeah, no question about that.
Medeiros 1 for 1 today. This one from the 39. Bethel Thompson the hole. Zach Medeiros, the Western Mustang. I like when I say that, don't you?
Hey, training camps on across the country for U sports teams. Getting ready to kick it off.
Setting time for Medeiros. 3 for 3 as an Argo, 2 for 2 today. 6-3. A minute 36 to go in the first. Coming off the biggest win of the season for the BC Lions, 3-4. Travis Lulay going to throw out a few cliches, but says they still have to do it one game at a time.
My messaging to my teammates, Wally's messaging to us, the team who plays better every single week wins. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what last week's momentum is. It doesn't matter where you're at in the race. It doesn't matter who we got coming up. This game is the most important game of the season. And really, when you have that mindset, it doesn't allow you to creep. And secondly, we're 3-4 right now. We have no room to feel good about a win at home. We gotta treat winning as an expectation and just go back to work.
Those are sage words from a veteran quarterback and a guy who's been around.
Yeah, I was
Wally
going to
quotes
say,
you.
it's from coming from a player who's played for Wally Buono for a lot of years. 10th year BC Lion, Travis Lulay.
Now, again, you played for Wally. You won with Wally. And you see that, Travis Lulay and Wally have had words on the sidelines. Through the years, have you ever seen that with other players who have been able to get into Wally's face a little bit? And I think that says a lot about the respect that Wally has for Travis Lulay.
Yeah, well, absolutely. I mean, it can happen, especially with veteran guys where you know each other well enough. You think about even within a family and so on, right? You get caught up in the emotion of the game. You can't play the game without emotion. It's going to happen sometimes, but you forget about it once it's done.
Lulay maybe wanted to bring that back and then just lost it. Kind of a loss of grip there. It's a muggy day, but let's take a look again. Was he trying to pull this back?
Well, look at Tuggle and Beltry right in his face. Tuggle comes through with that big right hand, and I think it just led to, whether he just clipped the edge of that ball or if it led to Lulay maybe trying to double clutch, thinking that it was going to get blocked.
Argo's defense has had a lot of pressure on that pocket today. Martese Jackson, look out here, but there's a flag down. Spin on the sideline for Jackson. This might be coming back. Martese Jackson had loads of room.
Make your getaway with intelligent all-wheel drive in the 2018 Nissan Qashqai.
Martese Jackson's eyes got a little wide.
Toronto, number 7. It's a 10-yard penalty. It's going to be first down.
It looked like a commuter when the QEW's wide open. He went, oh, and then this one's coming back, however. That was a lot of room left for Martese, but that return is negated. They'll have a long field here, Dwayne, starting back at their 10-yard line. 26 to go in this opening frame.
Yeah, never an ideal situation in terms of that starting field position when you're playing with, I don't want to say a young quarterback. McLeod Bethel Thompson is a guy who's been around the football world a little bit, but a guy making just his second career Canadian Football League start. You always want to kind of give him the best field position you can to start each drive.
Might be the final play of this opening quarter. Over the top. A little slash pattern for newcomer Mario Alford. 23 yards up near the 33-yard line, and that's the first quarter. So Alford has his first CFL catch, courtesy of McLeod Bethel Thompson. National exhibition. My partner wants to get some food. Welcome to the rides here. Martese Jackson takes us on one. It's 6-3 Argos in Toronto. No trips to the end zone yet. Field goal kickers doing the scoring here in this first quarter. 6-3 Argonauts. And again, two teams coming off enormous wins that had to change their psyche a little bit perhaps early in the season. What about the Toronto Argonauts and McLeod Bethel Thompson, who joined some select company of players in their first start who throw 4 touchdown passes, but they maybe don't throw 4 touchdown passes with the dramatics that he did in the second half and for a game winner.
Yeah, well, it was fascinating to talk to Mark Trestman about it. And, you know, we know from talking to Mark Trestman over the last many years that he's a guy who's very big on learning the stories of his players, finding out their background, really getting to know his guys. And he said that as McLeod Bethel Thompson struggled through the first half of that game, knowing that this is a guy whose whole career, whose whole journey has been about overcoming adversity, he was confident leaving him in there, knowing that he would overcome.
Declan Cross bowls his way past the Argo 50, a 19-yard pitch and catch and rumble.
Declan Cross, such a versatile player for the Toronto Argonauts, terrific blocker, really made a name for himself as a receiver out of the backfield last season. Former McMaster Marauder, played his high school football in Oakville, Ontario.
Here's Wilder again, and James Wilder Jr. straight arm and crashes near the 50-yard line, a pickup of almost 8 yards here for Wilder, and they have not too many answers right now for 32.
And this is the thing, right? We talked about putting your new quarterback in the best possible position to succeed. Well, if they continue to establish James Wilder Jr. in the running game, force a guy like Sean Lemon, a guy like Odell Willis, guys who just want to rush the passer, especially with a new guy, fresh meat behind center, force those guys to defend the run, get them back on their heels a little bit, will make the life of the quarterback a whole lot easier.
You know, guys like Odell Willis and Sean Lemon salivate the prospect of someone who is kind of green to the CFL game, only a second start, but don't you find it's a deceiving second start for someone like McLeod Bethel Thompson? The guy's been around.
Yeah, and the thing that stands out for me when you look, oftentimes you have guys who come in with much flashier resumes, bigger names and so on, but I find so often it's the guys who are journeymen, guys who have bounced around a lot and have had to always learn new systems, guys who aren't going to have systems tailored to them, that end up succeeding because they know how to adapt.
Trying to stretch out for that. McLeod Bethel Thompson. Rodney Smith almost was able to haul that in, but watch the retreat here, the back pedal by Bethel Thompson to avoid the sack.
Yeah, just looking to buy a little bit of time here from the shotgun with Otha Foster and Sean Lemon closing quickly from their respective sides.
Zach Medeiros. Nice boot. Chris Rainey's going to let it bounce. All the way into the end zone. You better be careful. Medeiros, had he been downfield, might have been able to go after that ball. Now he comes into the play, but 69-yard boot. And a single point put on the board, a 4-point lead now, thanks to the Canadian Rouge.
That'll move the ball to the 35-yard line for Lulay and the Lions offense. They'll start it off on that left hash.
BC team that has really struggled out of the gate, as have the Argos this season, but Lion team now 6 straight games where they have not been able to score a touchdown in the first quarter. It wasn't how they started last week, it was how they finished. Got the W. Lulay, quick hitter, Manny Arsenault's first catch. And a penalty flag, and Lulay got dusted in the backfield. And is this roughing the passer?
Major foul, roughing the passer. Toronto, number 24.
Yes, it is.
We'll
Justin
go 15
Tuggle.
yards from the other play. It's a first down.
Yeah, Tuggle was trying to make the argument that he was pushed in, but that makes no difference. Got Tuggle stacked up in the line of scrimmage, getting ready to come on the blitz. See?
Shaq Johnson doing some dancing. Flags are down. Let's straighten this out.
We'll bring him back 10.
Against the Lions.
Holding BC number 13. We'll go back 10 yards. We'll repeat first down.
BC team near the bottom in the league in terms of racking up penalties. The Argos, despite their less than stellar record, the least penalized team. See if those numbers play out today. Back they go to their 50. First and 20. Lule and Johnson make that Rainey collide in the backfield. Chris Rainey colliding with him, and Chris Rainey on that draw almost picked up the first down.
Well, you're going to see the fullback Rolly Lumbala coming from the left side of your screen. He's going to cross through the line of scrimmage. He's got a kick out on that right side. He walls his guy out. Rainey turns it up inside. Lightning quick Chris Rainey, all he needs is the smallest of seams and have an opportunity to turn it into a big game.
Getting some packages now in the backfield. Return man, receiver, multi-purpose. Lule now goes up and he's got his man. An easy touchdown for Bryan Burnham. 44-yard strike. The Lions have the first touchdown of this ball game. Bryan Burnham has his second of the season, and Lule laid it in there perfectly.
Keep an eye on Chris Rainey, a guy who we spend a lot of time talking about what Rainey does with the ball. Watch what he does without the football here. Cuts down the blitzing free safety Jermaine Gabriel. That provides Travis Lule the time to wait it out for Bryan Burnham on the crossing route. Burnham gains separation, turns it up for the Lions' first touchdown of the ball game.
Ty Long will make it a 3-point lead now for the Lions. Struck quickly on that drive. Nothing to passer call helped. An Arsenault catch. Rainey romp, and then Burnham burns them. 10-7 BC now.
I love you, baby.
Well, Ric Flair there. Bryan Burnham should be.
Come on.
With speed to burn and a 10-7 lead. By the way, that next Lions game, the home game, August 25th. Like here, where today, patrons who come in to the ballpark also get to go to the X for free. Same thing for the PNE. Coming up on August 25th for those out in Vancouver. Argos look to answer now. Martese Jackson. Oh, what a cut there. Jackson is dragged down from behind. Anthony Thompson had to get him. Otherwise, Martese Jackson might have been history.
Well, going head-to-head with Chris Rainey, Martese Jackson knows he needs to be at his best. Give his team a chance in that field position battle today, and he has been explosive as a returner thus far. Nice run there. He had another big one called back because of penalty earlier. He looks like he's geared up for the matchup.
At halftime, do we have a 100-meter dash between the two of them? Two of the fastest in Rainey and Jackson. Two of the slickest as well. James Wilder again. There's Martese, who gets inserted into the offense occasionally as well. Ian Rainey. You talk about guys who run a lot. Those special teams players who play both sides and also play offense. Look at, they're breathing heavy. 2nd and 1. Going deep here. Alford can't come up with it.
Terrific recovery on the play from Winston Rose. Out on that corner.
So on that 2nd and short, they had one to burn. It looks like they're going to now go 3rd and short, bring out their short yardage unit, which includes James Franklin.
Now Rose does well here.
So a 3rd down play for the Argos. 3rd and short, just 14 of 18 this season. Now barely get this one. 3rd and short situations. James Franklin, who gave way, of course, was the starter after Ricky Ray went down. Then Cloud Bethel Thompson got that last start and had an amazing finish.
A nice push there from the Argonauts offensive line. Great surge. James Franklin, former Edmonton Eskimo. Big things expected of Franklin when he was acquired in the offseason.
That's the most minimal carry that he has had today. James Wilder, as Odell Willis wrapped him up. Still gained 3.
Yeah, you can take the legs from those pass rushers if you spend all day forcing them to deal with the big boys if they've got 300-pounders. Van Zyl and Campbell leaning on them all day in the run game. Won't be quite as quick off the line when it comes time to rush the quarterback.
Bethel Thompson to Alford, who is going to be 2.5, maybe 3 shy. It'll be 3rd down again, and it's a long 3 yards. Mark Trestman surveys that. Cloud Bethel Thompson looking at the sideline. What are we doing? What are we doing? And they are bringing out the short yardage unit again. And this, by the way, isn't that short. This is a heavy gamble here.
Yeah, it's intriguing to me when I look at personnel and see that Martese Jackson is on that short yardage unit. See how they might consider using him here.
Franklin out, 3rd and a long 2. That's how they use him. And Jackson this is going to require a measurement. They had to get over the 45-yard line. Probably near the 44.5-yard line of BC. That's kind of where the marker is from this side. If it's on the 45-yard line, which it looks like it is, this is going to be close.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where we're going to be looking to see if the tip of the football got there or not.
No. Had to get to the 44.5. They did not. And that backfires on Mark Trestman and the Argos. And 3rd down, Gamble turns the ball over. Jackson. Just not enough. He's stuffed by the Lions, who take over, leading by 3 in Toronto. Honorees in each city for the Diversity is Strength campaign, and on the back of the Toronto jersey, the honoree is Orlando Bowen. With more on Orlando's story, here's Matthew Shinetti.
Rod, 14 years ago, Orlando Bowen had an unfortunate situation with some police officers, but something you say, Orlando, now, and when you're in your mentorship role, and what you're doing is pain is part of the journey, but misery is a choice.
Yeah.
Tell us how you took that situation and shifted your perspective to make it positive.
Yeah. So I've always, been about service, and always been about wanting to do what I can to make a difference and to bring hope and possibility. And then sometimes life circumstances can galvanize you towards what you're called to be doing. And I feel like that's what it was. Like even when I played the game so that I could serve. Right? When I worked out so I could have energy to serve. So now, when I serve as a motivational speaker corporately or working with young people, it's the same reason that it was 20 years ago that I'm serving.
Now, when you take a look at the name on the back of that T-shirt. You were quoted this week as saying your goal 14 years ago was to hold your newborn son in one hand and the Grey Cup in another. But to know the Argos are lifting up what you're doing now, and you're immortalizing the back of these T-shirts with this campaign, what does it mean?
Yeah, you know what? It's something that I always dreamt of a day that my son or sons will be able to look out onto the field and be proud and say, that's my dad. And my dad did something of significance and was there. So, you know, when we do work, it's often lonely, it's late nights, it's early mornings, and you grind, you do what's possible or what you have to do so that you could do what's possible and what you're called to do. So to have this happen is a real gift, because it just, for us, it says, I see you. And there are folks that are with, even though they're not physically with you, when you're going through those challenges, those struggles, those early mornings, late nights, you're not alone.
Thank you for this.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you.
Orlando Bowen, your sons are proud of you. Life can change. He was celebrating a contract extension that day and was arrested. What a journey, was exonerated. And now is a highly sought after motivational speaker, but he is one guy who likes to seek out people and help them.
Absolutely. I've known Orlando for a very long time, and I can tell you that's very genuine. It has been a lifelong commitment for him.
Travis Lulay calls his number and went to hook slide. You see how his foot got caught up in the grass. A little bit different here again. As I haven't watched games at BMO Field. This is natural grass for the most part. In the field, there is some field turf in the end zone, but the cleat can get caught up in natural grass at times too.
When you see Travis Lulay kind of have an awkward slide like that, I think probably every BC Lions fan in the country was holding their breath for a second there.
This has been the JJ drive, though. Jeremiah Johnson saw a couple of big gains. They move it down inside the 25-yard line. Isn't this diversity and strength campaign something else, though? You go back to last year and saluted so many players. Now they are saluting players and builders in each city. Last night, our buddy Aubie Kahn in Winnipeg, Moulton Hopkins and Joanne Pollock in Ottawa. And there's another guy who epitomizes diversity, and that's Anthony Calvillo. There's Ricky Ray. Just to see him. He's the reason McLeod Bethel Thompson's behind center.
A whole lot of passing yards in that shot right there.
Great to see Ricky, and I don't know if it's irony or coincidence, probably more coincidence that McLeod Bethel Thompson is from Sacramento State.
Yep. Same alma mater as Ricky Ray, of course.
Joining a club of 6 quarterbacks who threw for 4 touchdowns in their first start. Ricky Ray, McLeod Bethel Thompson. Right now it's all about Lulay, though. Travis on the run, gets a block here, now wants to tuck it and take it and kind of stumbles forward.
Yeah, I think Travis was as horrified as we were by the foot first slide last time, so he goes head first on this one. A great decision as he comes up smiling.
Travis is a great quarterback. I don't know if he stole many bases playing baseball.
Well, I'll tell you though, I love seeing this element, you know, now a few weeks into his most recent comeback, we'll call it, for Travis Lulay to start adding this element back into his game, because I've said it for years. I've always loved his ability on the move, moving the pocket, you know, forcing defenses to kind of defend him as a weapon, as a rusher. And he hadn't done it much through his first few starts, really picking his spots, but he's a dangerous guy on the run.
Hand it off to Jeremiah Johnson again, and barges inside the 10-yard line will move the sticks. The Lions will go first and goal, setting up their 9th play of this drive as we get close to the 3-minute warning.
Well, the 2 running backs, Johnson for BC, Wilder for Toronto. Each playing huge roles here so far, having big days. You see the numbers at the bottom of the screen. Both guys over 40 yards on the ground already, also catching some passes.
Lulay, so good in the red zone. Looking end zone. And Manny Arsenault. So down near the 3. There was a flag down, though, and it's on the far side of the field and on the near side. That might signify some illegal contact of some kind.
Offside. Toronto number
offside.
98. We'll go up half the distance. It's going to be first down.
So the alignment issue for the Argos. Half the distance now in first and goal. And the 3-minute warning. Lule can think about this. Lions could extend their lead. Flag just flew as well, and we'll come back to Toronto. As we went to break, Troy Davis flagged for objectionable conduct after that offside call.
You want to know what he said?
Maybe you can whisper it to me later. Or do some sign language. And there was the flag, and Davis on the sideline, so they cut that distance in half as well. So still first and goal. 10-play drive. And Jeremiah Johnson, touchdown. And Jeremiah Johnson loves to dance. If he's dancing, that means he's scoring.
Good things for the BC Lions as his big day continues. Lions get into double tights. Manny Arsenault helping out with the block off the edge.
I love you, man. Let's go.
Again, Jeremiah Johnson back in this BC lineup. Another impressive drive engineered by Travis Lule with a whole lot of help from 24.
Yeah, 10 plays covering 65 yards. Eating up 5 minutes and 20 seconds. Capitalize on that Toronto turnover. Turnover on downs. Lions march it in for the score.
.234 to go before halftime.
The ruling on the field was a touchdown. This gets automatically reviewed by the command center.
They were looking at the video review. See if that ball did break the plane. Looked like it did. Lions team that a slow start today, and really a slow start to the new season, and get a sense that maybe momentum is starting to come their way, as Travis Lule talked about yesterday and earlier this week. What a stabilizer he is.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, he's one of those guys, you know, that just the kind of the vibe you get being around him, you get a real sense of how important he is, whether he's been healthy or not, how important he has been in that BC Lions dressing room. And once he gets out on the field and in the huddle, that impact becomes even greater.
It's a term you hear a lot in sports.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It's a touchdown.
You know, you hear the term leader, and I think there's so many definitions, but you know, you see his picture under that definition. People follow Travis Lule, and they did, of course, back in 2011, all the way to the Grey Cup, and unfortunate injuries, and I think even Travis may have doubted his ability to come back from some of those injuries. But he's back. He's doing what he does best. And JJ, so you think you can dance? And he does. Fourth touchdown of the season for Jeremiah Johnson. 17-7 ball game.
Rod and the guys back in the studio coming up the half. We'll talk about a good first half by Travis Lule and a great read on that touchdown toss to Brian Burnham. Also about the Argos' offensive scheme to take the heat off McLeod Bethel Thompson, and some reaction to the Matt Nichols reaction last night. Back to Rod and Dwayne.
Hey, all right, we out here, baby.
All right, thank you guys. Yeah, quite a reaction last night at Winnipeg. Matt Nichols is not a happy guy after the game. Expressed that when Winnipeg fans rained down the boos. He returned to a ball game last night in a loss. Throttled last night by the Red Blacks. Jackson again picks his way up near the 39-yard line. Coming up tonight, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, and it is a go. The Alouettes and Eskimos. There was some concern with the smoke in the air in Edmonton about the quality of air, but everything's good for tonight. All systems go, and again, our very best to all of those fighting the fires and those living through those fires in BC, which have spread across all of Western Canada. In fact, being in Winnipeg the last couple of days, the smoke was thick in the air from BC in Winnipeg.
It's remarkable the impact it has.
Nice catch, Rod Smith. Bethel Thompson delivers a strike.
Well, not a lot to show for it on the scoreboard, but Bethel Thompson has looked sharp here in his second start.
Time now, and was that caught? Oh, saying yes. Armani Edwards, the hero with Bethel Thompson 2 weeks ago. Yeah, he had that.
Well-placed ball down low.
Lots of time here.
Only the receiver could get to that one.
2-minute offense. James Wilder hanging on. His ex-teammate Sean Lemon in there. It'll set up second down. This is a lot of time for McLeod Bethel Thompson compared to last 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, absolutely. Cardiac kid. Bethel Thompson, as we get into the last couple minutes of this first half, approaching 150 yards through the air, so essentially on pace for his second straight 300-yard start.
Stirred the comeback, and now he wants to go, and he's not going anywhere but down on second down, and this will likely bring out the field goal unit. Argo's likely going to take the points here. It'll be third and almost 6 yards.
Bethel Thompson doesn't like what he sees downfield. There's a gap there for a moment, but the newcomer on that defensive line, Claudel Lewis, defensive tackle, was able to track him down.
Newcomer out of Fresno State. So Zach Medeiros, 32 and 39. This one from 44. Make it a 7-point game. Medeiros straight down Main Street. Guy has been a kicker a long time. Is trying to find employment in the CFL. Has a Grey Cup ring to prove it. The Red Blacks 3 for 3 today. Jim Barker with the panel today. Milt, Davis Sanchez, and the Rod Smith, not Rodney Smith, who plays for the Argos. Coming up at the half, 1:07 to go.
These guys look like the world's oldest boy band, eh?
Looking good, though. I like to see the costumes.
Who would be the lead singer? Stiegel?
Oh,
yeah.
Singer, dancer, choreographer, nutritionist, and media rep, because you got to set up the interviews. In fact, I could see that boy band breaking up at some point.
Oh yeah. Oh, the egos would clash at some point. There's no question.
Speaking of bands, here is Rob Baker from the hip. Relatively hip. Lost lead singer Gord Downey last year. Saw Paul Langlois the other day. Those guys love Canadiana, hockey and football.
They are Canadiana, just iconic.
And he flung. So now 3rd and 1 for the BC Lions. Was looking for a stop. There was a flag.
Offside, Toronto defensive line. We'll go up 5 yards. It's going to be first down.
The entire line was offside. Can't point fingers. Point at everybody.
Don't want to single people out.
And actually, again, an alignment issue that didn't give him the yard. So Lule still with 50 to go here. Pulls it back and fires over the top. Burnham. 9-yard gain.
We talked about 2 minutes on the clock being lots of time for McLeod Bethel Thompson. Given his debut. Plenty of time for Travis Lule here with 45 seconds.
Fajardo comes in to run the short yardage. Looks like he'll get that, and Lule will come back out. 35. Again, 35 seconds. You think about 8 seconds of play. So you got some time here to get it closer. Certainly into field goal range, but I think Lule and the Lions are trying to think about taking this to pay dirt here. Explosive receivers. There goes Lule, and there is nobody there, and there's a broken route.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether we're looking at cross signals between Lule and Shaq Johnson, or if that was just a case of Lule feeling the rush and recognizing he's got to A, preserve field position, and B, preserve the clock. Just get rid of that football.
Second down now. Be a long field goal. If they can't get this ball downfield. Jump ball here. Diving for it. His former Argo Corey Watson. Alden Darby. One-on-one with him. So third down, 15 to go. And it doesn't look like Ty Long will attempt the field goal. Especially with Martese Jackson back. If you missed. Long's likely going to keep this away from 30. That's the mission here. And off the side of his foot. Bounced out of bounds near the 26-yard line.
And not the field position he was looking for as he lined up clearly, trying to angle that one to a side and get it out of bounds. But
8 seconds. Take a shot. Or just take your lumps, get into the locker room.
You know what? I'd take a shot.
Close game, one possession game. The guy could practically walk on water around here the last couple of weeks. What he did in his first start. Looks like they are going to take a knee and take.
Yeah, the field position, I'm sure, is a consideration in that. The risk of anytime you drop back to throw the football, sack and fumble or interception. You know, whereas if you're in the other team's territory closer to midfield, well,
I like your stuff. Matty Dunn. Matty.
I mean, if we're being perfectly honest, I mean, what do I care? It's not my money.
You know what Matty D would have been doing if he was in the studio today. Rod Smith's in the studio, though, with Milt and Jim and Davis, and here he is, a 17-10 lead for the BC Lions at the half.
Thank you, Rod. What do you guys call us? The world's oldest boy band? Here we are. Chaz and Jim and Milt, too. And let's talk about Travis Lule. I mean, you know, not overwhelming numbers, but he's clever. You can see that veteran savvy, and you saw that in the touchdown to Brian Burnham.
You never want to give too much information pre-snap to a guy like Travis Lule. Definitely. This right here, Jermaine Gabriel, in this situation, the one thing you cannot do is let your disguise affect you're doing your job. Never let disguise affect that. Right here, Jermaine Gabriel on this Burnham touchdown. Great read. But it's pre-snap. Jermaine Gabriel is 10 yards off, trying to disguise. He's 10 yards off when the ball is snapped. He's not going to get there 10 yards off. There's a little bit of hesitation between Darby and Washington right here. Just a slight hesitation with the switch. The middle is completely vacated because of the cover zero blitz. And bye-bye. That's a house call. Brian Burnham. Never, golden rule, never let your disguise affect your ability to do your job.
And when you're playing cover zero, the purpose of cover zero is getting to the quarterback. Basically, the quarterback needs to only have like a second and a half to throw the ball. As a DB, if the quarterback has more time to throw, it's not your fault if you get burned. That's exactly what happened right there. And you're talking about a veteran like Travis Lulay. You're giving him that much time. He's going to complete that for a touchdown every single time.
Better
so
off
Toronto,
than not.
They're going to continue
just
playing
line
that
up
defense.
and go. Like Don Matthews used to do. Line up and go.
That's what you have to do.
Absolutely. Put everybody up on the line of scrimmage.
Remember that?
And just
play
go.
cover zero.
And then every now and then you drop them off. But if you're trying to disguise it like that, I mean, that's a receiver's dream. We see that every single time. We're thinking about what it's going to be our touchdown day.
7 yards off the ball, you don't even have to count for him.
You don't even count. He's never going to get there.
Close.
So against Lulay, who's done a great job since being reinserted back into the starting offense, he's done a great job.
How about the other side of things, Jim? We wondered what kind of pressure that the BC with those ends with Sean Lemon, Odell Willis would try to put on McLeod Bethel-Thompson. You like the Argos' offensive scheme to take some of the heat off of them.
There's ways schematically as a coach you can handle dealing with great pass rushers. And in Lemon and Willis, you have two great pass rushers. In this first one, you're going to see a screen pass. The Argos ran a ton of screens. You see Sean Lemon right there. He just doesn't rush with the same kind of veracity. This next one, they're going to run right at Odell Willis on the bottom, and Chris Van Zyl is going to plant him. And that's how you handle really good pass rushers. You run right at them, you run screen passes, you could chip them, but those are coaching schematic things you do to take the pressure off of your offensive linemen when you have two great pass rushers.
I also love the way they're using Wilder. And Wilder came into this year saying he was going to get 1,000 and 1,000. And, of course, his rushing numbers aren't great, but his receiving numbers are good. He's actually the leading running back as far as receiving goes. So they got to keep him off balance. You're talking about keeping those guys off of balance. If you keep using Wilder, that definitely keeps him off balance.
Well, he's close to – sorry, go ahead, Jeff.
I'll say that's not a nice way to treat your friends. Chris Van Zyl pancaking his old buddy. Nice welcome home.
Well, that was Odell.
Oh, that was Odell.
Yeah, he pancaked Odell.
We'll pancake his butt then.
Talk about 1,000. Might have 100 today. He's at 45 and 46 in rushing and receiving is James Wilder Jr. We'll be back with more coming up. Talk about Matt Nichols as well here at the half.
Orange against the double blue today. Two teams with something to prove. Lulay now goes up, and he's got his man. An easy touchdown for Brian Burnham. Jeremiah Johnson, touchdown.
I love you, man. Let's go.
You know, I feel like I give my heart to this city and this team.
Nichols again. Ball is loose. Williams is going to score here. Now Matt Nichols is down and he's hurt.
Took some shots tonight. Took a big one on my elbow. Had to come out for a couple plays.
Chris Strabler comes in. Strabler looking good on this drive. Matt Nichols comes back in for Strabler. And already that fan base is on it.
Came back on the field and got booed by the whole stadium that I was coming back out there. That one was pretty hard for me.
That was, by the way, an unsolicited reaction by Matt Nichols after being booed last night of the Bombers' loss to the Ottawa Redblacks. How surprised were you by that comment, Jim?
Well, as a head coach and a general manager, he's the leader of your organization, and you'd like to not have him react in that manner where everybody is going to take note of it. Milt, you were in Winnipeg.
Yes.
You know what the pressure's like in Winnipeg. You understand the way the crowd is there.
Yes.
And how is that going to be received?
Well, I played in Winnipeg for 14 years. I played with, maybe 16 quarterbacks, and some of them deserve to be booed. Let's put it like that.
Any names?
I won't say any names.
Okay.
But I also played with two of the greatest quarterbacks in Blue Bomber history, in Kevin Glenn and Kahari Jones. These are two quarterbacks who won playoff games and led us to Grey Cups. And these guys got booed. So you have to understand, it's going to happen. But I also want to tell Matt Nichols, it's not personal.
No.
It's like when your wife gets mad at you, she may cuss you out, she may do some stuff, but it's not personal.
Does he have a point, though? Does he have a point that, I mean, they have a winning record? I mean, they were heading into that game, they were
That's Winnipeg for you. That's how they still love Matt Nichols. But you're going to get booed. Like Kevin Glenn got booed. Kahari Jones got booed. And these guys, like I said before, some of the greatest quarterback in Winnipeg Blue Bomber. It's part of the territory, but they still love Matt Nichols.
He says he gives his heart to the city and to this team. And, you know, the reality, fans don't know the hardships you go through, the injuries you play through, the sacrifices you make at home. But they don't need to, and they shouldn't have to. They buy a tub of popcorn, and they buy their ticket to watch you come and throw darts. But if you don't throw darts, you're going to get booed. Too bad.
The bigger question to me, Davis, the fans, however they react, they're going to react. Yeah. How are his teammates going to react to him? I mean, you've played with guys who have come out and said things. How are his teammates going to react to him?
You might question that toughness.
Maybe that skin needs to get a little bit tougher.
Maybe not for Matt Nichols. He's done a lot, but you would question that.
Playing in Winnipeg, it's a great place, but it's a tough. I mean, of course they never booed me. How could you boo this beautiful face? So,
you don't stop, do you? You don't stop.
It's a tough place, but it's a great place to play. Believe me.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you what. There were questions about him even while he was winning. Yeah. And that much more so hearing the boos last night of their loss to Ottawa at the half. BC leading the Argos by 7. We'll have more coming up. The CFL on TSN. Stick around. Time stats. The Argos have field goals. The Lions have touchdowns. And that's about the biggest difference you can think of right now in this 7-point lead. Hey, the lemonade stand is at the CNE. And just so happens the Lemonator is back to face his old team. Here he is with Matthew Shinetti.
Sean, I know you would want to get more lemon drops, but the way that you're sustaining and keeping them off the field, how do you like the way the defense is playing right now?
We're playing pretty good so far. DBs are bailing us out right now. They're doing a little bit more job on the max protection against us. So this second half, with them being down, I expect them to, send more receivers out for passes.
In terms of max protection, how is it going up against now? You did it in practice, but now against James Wilder Jr. in a game.
They're getting the job done up front. We haven't got many hits on them so far, but this second half, I expect us to get to them.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
From a blue lemon to lemon orange, and diversity is strength as the campaign continues here in Week 10. The BC Lions leading the Argos. 17-10, second half kickoff coming up.
Second day of the CNE Canadian National Exhibition just off the lake shore. The QEW here in Toronto. 17-10 BC. Here's James Wilder Jr. of the Argos with Matthew Shinetti.
James, you started the game on a tear. Time of possession's been an issue with the Argos at home so far this season. How do you improve on that in the second half?
We got to control the ball. We got to keep drives going on second and short. When coach trusts us on third and short, we got to get that and have his back to keep our drives going. And ultimately, stop having 3 points and start putting 6 points on the board.
And what's the key to blocking Sean Lemon as you were in the first half?
Let's keep doing what we're doing, man. We playing Argo football. It's nothing to us.
Thanks, Jim.
All right, go Argos.
Thank you, James. Thank you, Matthew. Again, I guess if you're an Argo fan, the good side is they were down 24 points a couple of weeks ago, down 21 at the half, and this seems to be nothing. There's a definite discrepancy in time of possession, and that speaks volumes about what Travis Lulay is doing offensively.
Yeah, BC Lions holding about 60% of the time of possession, up 17 minutes and 40 seconds, so almost 18 minutes to 12-20.
James Wilder, the ritual in the end zone. Just before this second half is about to begin, the Argos will get the football. Hardly any wind in the bowl today. BMO Field, home also of TFC. We've had some windy ones here, and it's affected ball flight. So now Alford gets his first touch as a returner. Mario Alford played in West Virginia as a 7th-round draft pick of the Cincinnati Bengals. Played 1 game in the NFL and is playing in his first in this Canadian Football League. So McLeod Bethel Thompson hasn't quite put up the numbers he did last week, but all those numbers last week were all basically accumulated in the second half.
Yeah, rough start for him in that one, but kind of found his way, fought through adversity as he has through his professional career. Got it done when he needed to get it done. Right now, 10 of 16 145 yards through the air for the Argo quarterback.
He'll keep it on the ground. Second and manageable. So this is what MBT did last game 2 weeks ago against the Ottawa Redblacks when it looked like it was a for sure Red-Black victory.
Yeah, and, I mean, night and day in terms of the way he started this game versus starting that game. Over twice as many first half yards as he had a couple of weeks back.
Almost got the Lions to jump with his cadence. Here comes the blitz and off the edge. Kind of stuttered there, but he got the first down, and again he finds Alford. What is it about guys who play at Sacramento State with that kind of calm demeanor that Bethel Thompson has? Very Ricky Ray-like.
Yeah, that California cool.
Like to see Ricky here without that neck brace. And it's an awful injury early in the season.
You just think about the wisdom being passed down to the younger Argos quarterbacks with Anthony Calvillo and Ricky Ray in that meeting room.
It's like as when you're a kid and you go to a football or a basketball or a hockey camp and they got like all-stars there. And you know who I got this week? Ricky Ray's coaching me. Anthony Calvillo's coaching me.
Yeah.
There's a lot of yardage between the two of those men.
All day, every day with those two guys will go a long way for guys like McLeod, Bethel Thompson, and James Franklin in their development as CFL quarterbacks.
Second down again, throwing down. Little out pattern, shoestring attempt by S.J. Green. Can't haul it in. Zach Medeiros is going to come out and give the ball back to the BC Lions. 7-point ball game. Lions will have their first series here. Two teams, by the way, Dwayne, that here's a little statistical anomaly. Since 2011, BC has a 9-5 edge, but over the last 5 series, they've split seasons, they've split the series, and neither team has won on their home field.
And the home losses would be the surprising piece of that for sure, given BC's
dominance
history, yeah, for many years playing against the East at home. Well, Travis Lulay hopes he can be as accurate as Mr. Beer Pong here.
You're good at that, aren't you?
Never played, brother.
No, I could teach you. I could teach you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, step right up here at the CNE in our first installment of 2018. Would Dwayne Ford eat this? So, Fordy, I love Tiny Tom donuts. A lot of people love them. I love the smell of them. They have them actually at Commonwealth Stadium right outside. I am going to say there's no meat on them, so you're probably not going to eat them.
You are correct.
There you go. I know you.
I'm a carnivore and I'm not a sweet tooth.
But it doesn't mean that they're not good. Because I will give them a shining endorsement. And on the sideline, a flag on a late hit as Burnham went out of bounds. BC Lions leading 17-10 again on the second day of the exhibition here with all the rides and the carnival and the concerts and the food. Lots of food.
Illegal block, BC number 13. We'll go back half the distance. We'll repeat first down.
So that was an illegal block by former Argo Kevin Elliott right in front of the bench. And
yeah, you see the shot in the back.
It was a late hit and it was an illegal hit by the Lions. Battle of field position now, 40. First down, long field. Longest field so far today for the BC Lions. Travis from the shadows of his goalpost. Here comes the rush. Jeremiah Johnson out of the backfield. And there's a face mask call by Marcus Ball on Johnson. And that will add 15 to that.
Major foul, face mask. Toronto number 6. It's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Automatic, and there is one way to escape the shadows of your goalposts quickly, and the least penalized team we talked about, the Argos, and this is a costly one by the veteran Marcus Ball.
Yeah, and that one's a bit of a result of the straight arm delivered by Jeremiah Johnson. When you're Marcus Ball and you reach for that tackle, you're just trying to get a hold of something, and being held off at arm's length there made it difficult for him to really target and keep a grip. Ended up on the mask.
1st and 10 from the 25. Lule winging it out here for Arsenault, and a perfect toss. Alden Darby could only watch, and Manny Arsenault right in his hip, pulling that in. A 32-yard strike from Travis Lule. Biggest play of the game for the BC Lions.
Yeah, keep an eye on Manny Arsenault coming out of the slot. Here a little bit of change type motion on their points of release with he and Kevin Elliott. Well thrown football to the outside. Arsenault big target. Protecting that ball from the defender. A big gain. Terrific start to a drive where they were back right up, partner.
And the jet sweep, Chris Rainey. Look at the blocking he's getting, and Rainey zigs and zags for 12 yards and followed that procession beautifully.
And Travis Lule continues and sells the fake like he's throwing the hitch to the other side just to hold the pursuit for a split second longer. You know, we talk about all the fast guys in this league. I think if we lined them all up on the goal line for a 60-yard race, my money might be on Chris Rainey.
Really? They'd be close though.
It would be close.
It'd be close.
There are some burners across this league.
And Lule has to toss that away as he was pursued. A very angry and hungry Marcus Ball right on top of Lule. Has some words. So who would you put in there? Like, let's say 6 guys. We may not get 6. Chris Williams for sure.
Yeah, Brandon Banks. Yeah. Well, I mean, given that we've got the Argos, Martese Jackson. Right.
Deontay Spencer.
Deontay Spencer's definitely in the race. Roland Limbala. Because every race should have a fullback.
Yes, there you go. I don't like his chances though. Turning at the last moment to Shaq Williams. And this will bring out Ty Long for field goal attempt. Would you think facetious, but would you? All those guys are kind of diminutive. Any taller, big stride 60-yarders that you can think of out there?
I'm gonna have to think about
like a
that.
Ryan Langford, maybe. Got some jets, maybe not.
I'll have to think about that one. You know, we need some defensive representation in there as well.
Yes. Ty Long from the 45 makes this a 10-point advantage for the BC Lions. Sean Lemon back in Toronto wearing orange. Matthew Shinetti will talk about the Lemonator when we come back. Not sure how the lemonade sales are going now that Sean Lemon is a BC Lion. Here's Matthew Shinetti.
Well, you know, Rob, when I spoke to Sean before the game, he reminded me how much he loved the city, and then he said, I'm not leaving here without 3 sacks. So he's got about just over 20 minutes to go ahead and get those sacks. But the fact is, for those of us who are covering the Argos, his trade wasn't necessarily a surprise. Sean Lemon and some of the coaching staff with the Argos had a bit of friction over his time here, but he insisted that it was personal as much as he loved being in Toronto. But when we spoke to Mark Trestman yesterday about it, he was nothing but diplomatic, even though Sean Lemon, when he spoke to us earlier in the week, said that he didn't think his offensive line, his former offensive line, could block him. And when I said to Chris Van Zyl before the game that Sean Lemon predicted that he was going to get 3 sacks today, or nearly guaranteed it, Van Zyl just looked at me and smiled. Guys?
Right now, Van Zyl's winning that argument. 0 sacks for Sean Lemon. Bethel Thompson changes it again. Like most rush ends, off the edge, a player with an edge. And zipping it in, and coming up with a football. The Lions are saying incomplete. I haven't seen a signal. The officials,
they're marking the spot.
it.
They're calling that complete.
That would be a second rollover catch for Armani Edwards today.
Yeah, we'll take a look. I mean, this one was just right through the arms of Anthony Thompson. I don't know how Thompson, I mean, it might have been a tough catch, but I don't know how he doesn't at least knock it down.
Wally Buono's already thrown the challenge flag. This would be a significant first down and into BC territory. Well, actually at the 55-yard line. I don't know if you saw it on the replay, whether he caught it or not.
I was too busy marveling at the fact that Thompson didn't knock it down.
The last play was an incomplete pass. The play will be reviewed.
Well, we'll look at it. So will CFL Command, and we'll give you another peek when we come back. Catch or no catch? 10-point ball game in Toronto at the X. Armani Edwards looked like he just made a catch with his knees. Catch or no catch? I'll show you the replay in a moment.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. It's a completed pass. It's first down. BC loses their first timeout.
Well, they always say you have to have good hands to be a receiver. You have to have those Eddie Brown knees. He caught this ball with his knees.
That's right. Good hands or very strong adductor muscles.
But look at this.
Squeeze it.
I don't even think his hands touch the football.
No.
The Fry Master. Armani Edwards. I've seen that a few times in the past, but usually a guy gets a hand on it or
well, and I mean, a ball
it.
with that much zip and that close to the ground.
Crazy catch by Armani Edwards. That's highlight reel.
And I'm going to point out that on a tough call, great call by the official. They got it right.
Got it right. Maybe almost impossible to conclusively determine if that had hit the ground, but it was, well, close to the circus today. So it was, you can't get a better juggling act than that with your knees, Armani Edwards, who again caught the pass more conventionally 2 weeks ago to win the ball game against Ottawa. And the great comeback here. Comeback for the ages for the Argos. It's a third down here. James Franklin and inches. Got stopped earlier, not this time as he steamrolls ahead.
Yeah, picked up about 3 yards on that one.
McLeod, Bethel, Thompson. We had talked about in the preseason when we saw him. Comes by his talent quite naturally through the years. Not necessarily football, but certainly throwing. Anthony Coombs in motion. Alford again, getting busy in this game. Bethel Thompson's granddad could throw, but not a football. Shot put.
Not exactly the same action.
No. He's an Olympic gold medalist. 1948. James Wilder.
McLeod has talked at length about the impact that his grandfather has had on his athletic career.
Bearded Bethel Thompson. 2nd and 4. They give it to Wilder here. Yes, they do. And he gets the first down to the 20-yard line. So 40, I think I might have surprised you with that little bit of info.
You never cease to amaze me, Rod Black.
Wilbur Moose Thompson.
Great handle. Great moniker.
And you are right what McLeod has said about Moose and how important he's been in his life. His grandfather is a mentor, a shot putter. That's where he gets that strong arm from. Funny though how the DNA of high performance athletes does transcend generation to generation. Sometimes you just need to know that somebody who was in your family did something great. And McLeod Bethel Thompson knows that his grandfather did something great.
He was instrumental in my who I am as an athlete. Instrumental in my process, instrumental in how I move and how I think about things. He was my first, sports psychologist. He was my first coach. He was, in so many ways, he was kind of just that mentor that was a beacon of light. That's how it's supposed to do it. That's how I can carry myself. And a lot of my family members tell me I move like him and I look like him. So I'm just blessed to have him in my family and be able to follow his family tree.
When you get the chance to sit down and talk to McLeod Bethel Thompson, I mean, this is a fascinating guy. He really is, and a very well-rounded young man that we talked about how you can see the effect Travis Lulay has on the BC Lions, and he's a guy that people want to follow, and you can see that in McLeod Bethel Thompson, and so much of it just comes from his upbringing.
Granddad was named Moose. Big man. He's a big man too. McLeod, his 9th play of the drive. Again, he changes that cadence. It's everybody back, and now they go again on 1st and 10, and he has to throw it away. Fortunately for him, that was close to James Wilder, who wasn't looking, so I think that will be grounding. So it'll be 2nd down now. They were coming for it.
Yeah, oh yeah. Bethel Thompson knows that Wilder's not going to get a chance to get open, but that's why he's throwing it so low. But I mean, it hit the intended receiver, no issue as far as grounding. It's a smart play by the quarterback, quite frankly, to get rid of it, avoid the sack, but not put it in a position where it's at risk of being intercepted.
Argos team that has yet to score a touchdown today. Now the rush is on. He has to move, and he goes to the end zone, and it's a touchdown. It's Anthony Coombs. Welcome back. It's been a long time for the former Manitoba Bison. What a throw under duress by McLeod Bethel Thompson.
Yeah, this is a fantastic play on both ends. The throw from Bethel Thompson, who gets absolutely drilled as he releases the football, and he knows it's coming. The pressure's coming right in his face, but he stands in there and takes the hit because he knows his man is open in the end zone, delivers it right on the money to Anthony Coombs for the touchdown.
Anthony Coombs, first start in a long time.
Give me 2 more now.
So much of a battle through the years with the injuries. How good must that feel for number 1, Coombs? The Argos find the end zone, and Medeiros converts, and back to a 3-point game. It wasn't a shot put, it was a spiral right to the end zone. The guy in his grill may have hurt. Feels good right now for the Argos and McLeod Bethel Thompson. Anthony Coombs pulls them closer. Anthony Coombs, the Winnipegger, Sturgeon Heights High School. First-round pick back in 2014. That is his 4th career touchdown, first of 2018 in his first game back.
Yeah, Coombs starts to the left side of the field. He's working to that corner, but here you'll see the shot once again taken by McLeod Bethel Thompson. Anthony Coombs, the number 3 receiver here, into that side of the field. Working trips, force the defenders to switch. Gary Peters blew a tire on the play to leave Coombs open in the corner of the end zone. I'll tell you, as a quarterback, and especially when you're kind of the new guy, you don't mind taking a hit like that, because that's one of those ones that will earn him tremendous respect among his teammates.
Love this flying V formation. Medeiros initiates, choreographs the clap, the kick. And now Chris Rainey. He's wrapped up and smothered. Play pile on down there. Wow, Bethel Thompson with AC looking through the tablet. Really such a calm presence.
Yeah, even keel kind of guy. And again, get the sense that it served him very well. You know, when things for a lot of people probably seemed like they were moving pretty quickly down the stretch of that game last week, but Bethel Thompson's demeanor got him through 2 weeks ago, excuse me.
Some time with some NFL camps, played in the UFL. As a matter of fact, Trevor Harris on the same team, Sacramento Mountain Lions. But you can be on rosters as a
Time count
quarterback.
violation. BC number 14 will go back 5 yards. Will repeat first down.
Makes this a little longer. You can go to as many camps, but if you're not getting playing time, it takes a while. Are you a little surprised so far the trajectory of McLeod Bethel Thompson so early? It's so Ricky Ray-like.
You know, the early in his CFL career, not early in his pro career.
Yeah. First and 15. Lule pulling it back. Arsenault, nice snag up near the 35-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and 7.
I mean, just to finish that thought, McLeod Bethel Thompson, just in his second CFL season, joined the Argos last year. But this is a guy who's 30 years old. He's been around the world of pro football, and that's what I talked about, a guy who's been, you know, and bouncing around, forced to learn different offenses. I think kind of develop the ability out of necessity to pick things up quickly and learn to adjust to different circumstances.
Now working with Anthony Calvillo. Again, this play will not get off, and there was movement before this play began.
Procedure, BC number 63. It's a 5-yard penalty. Will repeat second down.
Who, me? Siobhan Olafioye, perennial all-star in this league. It's a different route back to BC. Was in Montreal for a bit. Big second down play for the Lions. 2nd and 12. And a delayed draw to Johnson. Again, another penalty flag. We're seeing a lot of that orange nylon here in the third quarter as the time ticks down to just over 2.5 minutes. Units are trotting off the field, but let's see what the call is.
Offside, BC number 88. Penalties declined. It's going to be third down.
Momentum has really shifted here in the latter part of the third quarter. The Argos could get some really good field position with Martese Jackson now on the return. Ty Long, launch from his 25-yard line. What a perfect kick. Spiral, and Jackson high steps, and a great tackle downfield. A 54-yard kick. Winston Rose was down quickly. Special units tonight are special for two guys who happen to share the same birthday. They're twins.
Yeah,
Justin and Jordan Herdman, who get to play against each other for the very first time today. Used to play with each other.
Yeah, well, we had the rare moment, you know, been kind of watching on special teams that when Toronto is punting, BC's on punt return, that these two guys, or excuse me, BC punting, Toronto on punt return, these two guys are both on the field at the same time, and really for the first time in their lives on opposite sides of the battle.
Tipped and almost caught. Jordan, of course, has taken over from Solomon Elimimian and done an outstanding job filling those cleats. His two brothers who grew up in Winnipeg, the sons of great CFLer James Reed.
Well, you know, I want to mention that touchdown by Anthony Coombs. You mentioned Sturgeon Heights High School. probably mixed emotions for them on the Coombs touchdown, as the Herdman brothers went there as well. So Jordan's on the field getting scored against while Coombs is scoring. Keenan LaFrance, another guy from Sturgeon Heights.
Rodney Smith has the first down on a dart from Bethel Thompson. That's pretty special, though, to have twins playing in the Canadian Football League and drafted in the same round. And now Jordan getting an opportunity to get some really valuable playing time and filling in for a guy who arguably could be an most outstanding defensive player every year, Solly. First and 10. Back on the turf they go to Wilder. Carries 4 bodies with them for 8 yards.
It was all about James Wilder Jr. out of the gate for the Toronto Argonauts offensively. He's been quiet here in the second half, but hoping they can kind of revive him with that last run, keep him involved.
13 rushes today. 81 yards for JWJ. That time he is corralled. Second and about 1.5 yards. So they'll bring out the big boys here. And Martese Jackson comes out again. I don't see them trying that play they tried earlier.
Yeah, if only to use it as a decoy, maybe to keep the ends from pinching down if you use his speed to threaten the perimeter.
And they were stopped on 3rd and 2 earlier. This is a 3rd and 1 yard, but only a half yard. They have to get to the 45. James Franklin behind center. And he will get that. Move the sticks. Herdman and Wilder locking horns. Back comes Bethel Thompson. It's the last play of the 3rd quarter. Good ball game here. Good tight ball game. 2 teams that have played that way through the years. BC leads by 3. So we head to the 4th quarter on X Day in Toronto. Really a field goal separating these 2 teams right now, and it's only appropriate. The numbers bear it out. Very close in every category. Time of possession creeping up now. The Argos 2 minutes within that, and running backs eating up the ground game right now. So we'll see what happens here in the 4th quarter. Back to our edition of Will Dwayne Ford Eat This here at the National Exhibition. And you know what they have on the Midway? Gold ice cream bars. There's actual gold and gold hamburgers. So you see it at that. I will tell you. Okay, so I can tell you right now. I know you're not eating the ice cream, but you are eating that, even with gold on it.
Eat it. I might marry that.
Because you like gold. You're a gold digger.
You know, big old burger with bacon. The bun is too big on that one, though. I'm not a big carb guy.
James Wilder. So when you were a kid and you came to the X, I think you're still a kid, as we are. What was your go-to food on the Midway?
Hey, that's my first carry left at 8 yards.
Because there's every type of food here.
Yeah, I mean, see, I was always inclined in my childhood.
You like that?
At the CNE.
Would Dwayne eat that? Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
yes,
I would eat the turkey leg, but again, somewhat selective. I would pull the skin off. I wouldn't eat the skin.
Bethel Thompson stepping up again. S.J. Green has the first down. Cloud Bethel Thompson continues to impress. Standing in, being harassed, the pocket closes, and he still delivers.
Yeah, and you just get the sense that, as each of his 2 starts has progressed, his confidence grows. There's that nervousness, that bit of anxiety the first part of the game, but he settles in and gets into a groove.
And he has his man again. And S.J. Green, who has made catches like that routine through his career. That time could not hang on.
Yeah, and that
had a moment.
That ball hung up there just a touch and just long enough to allow the defender, TJ Lee, to get involved and disrupt the play. You see, Green had to kind of slow himself and wait for that football.
Ninth play of the drive. We've had a lot of long drives now with some blocks. It's Coombs again. First down and more. Foot race for Anthony Coombs. What a dazzling return so far for AC.
Yeah, tremendous. And you get a real sense of the dimension that this young man adds to the Argonauts offense when he's in that sort of hybrid slot back, running back position. It's an explosive athlete.
3 catches, 55 yards, and a touchdown in his return. And has it on the backfield again, this time carrying the rock. Again, talk more about the injuries. His 5th season really has kind of averaged 10 games a year, but when he's been in, he's had an impact, but he's had trouble mostly with the collarbone through the years and never has been able to fulfill that potential that everybody talked about. He's had his flashes.
Yeah, he certainly has.
And it's not because of a lack of trying, it's just a lack of getting on the field. 2nd and 5. Bethel Thompson, end zone again, and a flag is down. That'll take it to the 1-yard line. Interference in the goal. Armani Edwards.
Pass interference. BC number 4. The foul occurred in goal. It's going to be first down on the 1-yard line.
Suddenly the Argos a chance to take the lead. Gary Peters, the infraction.
Look at Peters' left hand on the biceps. Left biceps of Armonte Edwards. Preventing the receiver from having an opportunity to reach with 2 hands.
James Franklin behind center for the score. Touchdown Argos. James Franklin's 7th rushing touchdown. Could have walked in. Mark Trestman and the Argos, who had a 7-3 lead, had that extinguished by the Lions, who haven't trailed since that time. And now they're back on top. Point after from a 4-point advantage.
12 plays, 87 yards from McLeod Bethel Thompson and the Argos. And again, another clock-eating drive, 5 minutes, 23 seconds, as we saw at the end of the 3rd quarter. A time of possession that had been kind of dominated by BC in the first half. Really leveling out.
They're keeping Travis Lulay off the field here. Zach Medeiros has had a perfect afternoon. Argos go ahead 24-20. We're in for a finish, it looks like. It seems everybody's helping out. James Franklin, Anthony Coombs, S.J. Green, Armani Edwards, McLeod Bethel Thompson. It is a team game, and they are drinking it up. The former Missouri Tiger back up to McLeod Bethel Thompson now, but James Franklin may be relegated to that backup duty, but that doesn't mean he's not getting a lot of action. Sees a lot of football, and that's his 7th touchdown of the season.
Yeah, pretty good play to touchdown ratio for the Argos backup quarterback.
Now it's up to the BC Lions number 2. Might it be a special team play that changes the scope of this ball game in the 4th? Anybody's ball game. He set up the return. Rainey is brought down by Akeem Jordan. yesterday celebrated his 33rd birthday. Good tackle. Don't forget, coming up this week, CFL Wired.
I run right to him. He on the ground smiling just like that.
Well, we're trying to protect ourselves.
I understand. We're trying to protect all players too. And I'm about to go this way, and you ran right into me. I'm like, damn, bro, my fault, bro.
CFL Wired, Tuesday, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Sound up. And right in the middle of the action, as we are today at BMO Field. Travis Lulay, play action, rolling, throwing against the grain. And he has the first down. An outstanding throw by Lulay, who was rocked as he threw it. No call.
Having the poise and presence of mind to direct traffic. Watch him tell the receiver what troll to get into and sit down as he points downfield.
And it's Burnham. Toughest throw for the quarterback is across that body. 16-yarder. Lots of time left here in the fourth. Jeremiah Johnson hasn't been a game, certainly, of 2 and outs. Long drives for both teams.
Yeah, pretty impressive from an offensive point of view. As you know, I always have an appreciation for the ground game, which both teams have remained largely committed throughout this ballgame. See Lions offensive coordinator Jarius Jackson, longtime CFL quarterback, making a pretty good name for himself as a coach through his time in Edmonton, Saskatchewan. Basically started as he was winding down his career in Toronto.
He's been on both sides of the ball. Crossing pattern over the top. It's the running back, Jeremiah Johnson, who can do that. Great two-way player inside the 40-yard line. A 19-yard gain. Perfect toss.
Johnson, the step on the middle linebacker. Tuggle that time. Travis Lulay just on the money.
There's a tennis match here between two power servers, the quarterbacks. Oh, that one dangerous, could have been picked. Very, very close. Cassius Vaughn may be playing for the rest of his career and may never have a day like he had at the Grey Cup game in a play, but almost had an interception here.
You see the Argos D coordinator, Mike Archer. His troops hoping for a big stop here.
On second down, play clock down to 1. Just getting it off here. Lulay fires. And again, it's Cassius Vaughn, hero of the Grey Cup game last November in Ottawa. Making a fumble, the distance, shocking the Calgary Stampeders. Almost back-to-back, right in the middle of it.
Yeah, Vaughn doing a terrific job there to climb the ladder. Get a hand in on that play.
And a former Argo, Cody Fajardo, to hold for Ty Long from the 46. Make this a one-point ball game. And that's what he will do. We talked about this before, how close these teams have been and how the home team has been unable to win the last 5 seasons in their season series. So McLeod, your serve. Back at what used to be known as Exhibition Stadium around here at New BMO Field. It's Exhibition Day, National Exhibition. There's our man, John Russin, statistical engineer, who is celebrating a birthday today. Happy 75th birthday, Johnny.
You look great for your age, buddy.
Great. And you know, as he just said, Freedom 85. Happy birthday to John. Stats crew does a great job. And how about this for a stats anomaly?
Yes.
Steve Daniel, Mr. CFL Stats, Mr. Numbers. It's his birthday today, too.
Crazy. What are the odds, John?
What are the statistical odds,
Can you calculate
Johnny?
those?
Let's figure that out. He's looking at his calculator right now. So happy birthday to them and to Jan Staniszewski, ISO director, in our truck, who's celebrating
his 100th birthday
tomorrow. It's everybody's birthday. Happy birthday if you're celebrating one. Cloud Bethel Thompson, that looked like it was picked. It is picked. And down the sideline, TJ Lee, the interception. There was no whistle. It was right in front of Wally Bono, who said, get up and go.
Yeah, and we'll see. I know from an officiating point of view, you know, not to suggest that they are playing to the replay rules or officiating to the replay rules, but if it's called a turnover, it's automatically reviewed.
Ruling on the field is an interception by BC. First down.
So we have seen some outstanding grabs today.
Yeah, first glance to me looked like this one was trapped. Second glance confirms it.
Confirms the trap. And earlier in that route, it also looked like there might have been some contact. I think this is not going to be an interception. And we'll play on here. And turnovers, all scoring replays, automatically reviewed by CFL Command. I don't think that's going to take very long. And TJ Lee is even looking at it on the big screen. It's been a really clean ball game for the most part. Just the one turnover by the Argos. That was a turnover on downs.
After review,
psych.
Our man, Ben Major. Here he comes. He's waiting for us, I think. Okay, go ahead, Ben.
after review, the ruling on the field is overturned. It's an incomplete pass. It's third down.
I think he was doing it because there was more drama involved.
Yes. You know Ben, he's all about the big show.
He is a terrific person. One of the gutsiest officials. He's taken some hits out there. But it's still going to be third down, still better than the interception, unless Chris Rainey has something in store here. Towering kick from Medeiros. Rainey looking for a seam, now going backwards. And actually might have even lost a yard there. Kind of got tangled up with one of his blockers. We'll step aside past the midway point of the fourth quarter. We got a 1-point ball game. 7 minutes and 22 seconds until Dwayne Ford goes eat. Not to let the football game interrupt our cuisine, but would Dwayne Ford eat this? This is macaroni and cheese on a stick, something like deep fried macaroni and cheese. Or, I know you're not eating this. I'm not sure if this comes with Tums or not. Rainbow Kit Kat crepe. You're not a crepe guy, I know that. I think you eat the mac and cheese, though. I think you try it.
What, is there like a steak with it or something?
No. It might be the fun thing that, like, you might like that. Maybe not.
Well, I may be about volume of food. I'm not necessarily about fatty food.
Yeah, it's
except bacon.
Jeremiah Johnson up the middle. Well, there's a lot of food types in store if you're in the Southern Ontario area. Come to the X. P&E is going to be going on in BC as well. You need a gym membership when you basically leave the X. Lots of food. We got a ball game here. 1-point game. 6.5 minutes to play. Who is going to blink here? Lule hums one right side. Manny Arsenault bringing that in. There is a penalty flag that is down.
Offside, BC number 88.
Take that off the board.
Okay, correction, it's procedure, BC 88. It's a 5-yard penalty. We'll repeat first down.
It's a couple on Shaq Johnson now. Offside earlier. And procedure. Johnson's become a weapon. He's been quite quiet here so far today, but the guy who can stretch the field out. Lule go to him. 1st and 15. Argos look to rush 4. Lule floated one and got hammered, and that is going to be a 15-yard penalty. Leon Lang got to him.
And that's
Major
letting them
foul,
off the hook.
Roughing the passer. Toronto number 90. It's a 15-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Take a look, Leon Lang working from the defensive left side of your screen. You saw with the forearm as he's coming off the block of the offensive lineman, he came in high on Lule, letting the Leos off the hook in that 2nd and long stop.
New life, 1st and 10 from their 50. Down 1, Lule loads of time, jump ball, and overthrows Kevin Elliott. Coverage downfield, the newcomer Marcus Roberson, the Florida Gator. Guy who played 25 games in the National Football League. St. Louis Rams. Another key 2nd down. BC 10 for 18 on 2nd down. Jeremiah Johnson with a cut.
He's got it.
And a fumble. And the Argos say they have it. Or do they? No, it's a BC football. Johnson might be a little bit short. Needed to get to that 50-yard line. There is no call of turnover, so 1.5 yards on 3rd down now. Johnson did fumble. Marcus Ball had his mitts on it.
So it looked like the right guard, David Foucault, was the man who came up with it.
They are not going for this 3rd down. 3rd and 2. Ty Long, field position. And Martese Jackson in full gallop. Up near the 40.
And with that punt return, Martese Jackson just made that the wrong call for BC. They were punting to try and pin him deep, get a short field on the exchange of possession. And Martese Jackson with that big return wiped out that possibility.
Wally Buono, a former linebacker and punter in the Canadian Football League. Martese Jackson follows the lead blocks. He's had a couple of nice returns today. So McLeod, Bethel Thompson try to milk this clock too. Try to get a cushion. Bethel Thompson running out of room, and he is going to get sacked. I won't put him down officially, but that is a sack. So he rolled right into the newcomer, Claudel Lewis. 2nd sack for the former Fresno State Bulldog.
Yeah, watch the right side of that defensive line for big number 94. Starts off as a double team. Again, as the offensive lineman can't see the quarterback sliding to his left to know where he is, but the D lineman can. Lewis took advantage of that.
2nd and 15, trouble again for Bethel. Thompson's down again. And the BC Lions, and Sean Lemon returns to Toronto with the sack, and he has words for his old mates as he prowls that sideline. A Lemon drop at a critical time will force the Argos to kick it back as we inch towards the 3-minute warning. So no harm done here for the BC Lions. 2 great pressures, back-to-back sacks. Medeiros flutters one through the wickets. Rainey cutting back, and Chris Rainey goes down near the 30-yard line. 2:41. Sean Lemonade said he had 3 sacks in store for his old mates today. He's only got 1, but that was a key one. Might lead the Lions to victory here. Lemon returns back to Toronto. 3-minute warning. 1-point game. Coming up tonight, 9 Eastern. Mike Riley, the Eskimos, Terrell Sutton. Antonio Pipkin will start for the Alouettes. No Johnny Manziel. And again, game going tonight at Commonwealth. All the smoke in that area. All systems go. 6 receivers set for Lule. Down 1. Quick hitter. And that was off.
Yeah,
just a little bit outside, maybe.
Well, I think it was tipped near the line of scrimmage. I believe Troy Davis got a hand on it. Keep an eye on the right side. Defensive end on the right.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, more than a tip, that one.
Almost got both mitts on
the chest, yeah. Deflected off the shoulder pads.
2:25 to go. The Argos hold here. The Lions likely will kick it back to Toronto. James Wilder getting the fans going. Lule. And that one also, it's picked off. It's fumbled now. Crazy play. Marcus Ball had it, lost it. Chris Rainey got it.
And with a change of possession,
it's a first down. Otherwise, the Lions likely would have had to kick, even if he had dropped that.
The ruling on the field is an interception by Toronto, followed by a fumble. The fumble was recovered by BC. Therefore, it's first down for BC.
So this keeps the pulse beating for the Lions. And another one that was tipped.
Yeah.
Tip ball to Marcus Ball.
Fumbled ball.
So they got to get the yard marker straight here. It is a first down. And by the way, this is Travis Lule territory. Guy who's known as one of the masters in the league. The 2-minute offense. All he needs to do is work the clock, get it into field goal range for Ty Long. Lule has had 13 career game-winning drives. Using that clock. Dangerous throw to the field side. Former Argo Kevin Elliott.
Long throw for that 8-yard gain. Yeah, 2 minutes, plenty of time for Lule. Gets his team into second and short here.
Rainey's in the backfield. Arsenault comes up. Now give it to Chris Rainey. First down. The Lions will be content just to keep moving those chains here. This clock could work perfectly to their advantage. Try to keep the ball out of the hands of the Argos if they can get a field goal here. Argos look to rush 4. Here comes a blitz off the edge, and there goes the ball. Nice catch. Another 7 to 8 yarder. Lule content with that. That's what the defense is giving him. And again, it's Kevin Elliott.
That blitz comes from the halfback. Guess where the ball's going? Elliott sits it down in the space vacated by Darby. Lule, of course, recognizing it, getting the ball out on time. The pickup.
inside 90 seconds. Lions look to move the sticks once more. And they will. Clock ticking to 1:18. There is Ty Long. Longest this season, 51-yarder.
Long has a big leg. Really no wind today.
Both kickers, by the way, have been perfect today. Lule, again, content with those quick hitters.
And Kevin Elliott playing a big role.
Now this
drive.
This is second down and 5 yards. A little bit different than the previous sequences. Where it was 2nd and 2. Jermaine Washington tackle.
Into the last minute, you're playing 3-down football, so 2nd and 5 isn't necessarily a bad place to be.
Going up for it and bringing it down. Fumble ball. Arsenal dropped it. The Argos have it.
Unfittingly, Marcus Ball was the guy who ends up with the football for the Toronto Argonauts.
Manny Arsenault had the ball, lost the ball, and the guy who gave the Lions life earlier, Marcus Ball, ends up on top of the ball.
Yeah,
and he was the guy who also helped initiate the entire play. There's Marcus Ball.
And you'll see Jermaine Gabriel puts his shoulder pad right on the football here to pop it out.
And the Argos now with 38 can line this up. They had a play come from behind again here. 2 weeks ago, 24 points to victory. Not quite the deficit this time around. But they did have to come back.
Timeout, BC.
BC has a timeout. Still not in the books yet. Argos trailed by 10 twice.
Toronto Argonauts become a very interesting team at this point, as there's been an evolution and obviously addition of parts. McLeod, Bethel, Thompson. You know, obviously a very small sample size, so we're not going to get ahead of ourselves, but you know, has given them some good things at the quarterback position. You get Anthony Coombs healthy in the lineup. You add a Ryan Bombin on your offensive line.
James Wilder, ball security a must.
Wilder Jr. with big day.
Not over yet here. Do not mark this in yet. 27 to go. Chris Rainey is going back. Turnover certainly costly, but there still might be a last glimmer here for the BC Lions. And if you needed someone to give you a chance, why not Chris Rainey? Daros is going to try to keep this away from him.
Well, yeah, you want to get this one out of bounds inside the 20 in a perfect world.
And use that clock up. Rainey's going to have to run with this now. And it goes down. There will be time for one more play. The clock looked like it goes to zeros. Are they calling it now? Looked like there was 2 seconds left when he went down. I'm not sure this game is over. There's 0 on the stadium clock. And they're shaking hands. Is it over? Ben Major is pushing the players back to the sideline. It looks like there still might be some time on the clock for a Hail Mary.
When the play ended, there was 1 second left on the time clock. 1 second. It's first down for BC.
Home stadium clock. You like to keep that thing going. It's kind of like the NBA.
Yeah, they've trained him well here.
So 1 second, and hey, the Argos are going to go back in serious prevent. Lions are likely going to probably try some hook and ladder stuff. and maybe even Budic. And you never know.
That's it.
All they need is one. They only need 1 point to tie it and send it to overtime. They have no time to set up for a field goal, obviously, so you can see a hook and ladder and a possible boot to the end zone.
Well, yeah, I mean, we'll see if their receivers are aware enough of that, of the fact that if they can get close enough to kick it into the end zone.
A timeout has been called by Toronto.
So the Argos, I'm sure, aware of this as they get into their prevent, might sink somebody a little bit deeper if that ball does get to the end zone in orders to get that out quickly. Again, CFL rules, that 1 point looms large. The Rouge.
Yeah, so you've got BC using the timeout to make sure their guys are aware we don't need to run it into the end zone here. If you get into trouble, boot it in before you get tackled. And of course, as you said, for the Argos, recognizing if the ball goes into the end zone via kick somehow, you've got to get it out, even if you kick it out.
Let's see how they start the hook and ladder here, how far they do it. If they start it right away or they go down in the underbelly underneath. Here's one. And it's Arsenault who's going to have to flip that or kick it. And he does, or he tries to. And this game is over. And Arsenault looks like he's hurt down there. Pride probably wounded as well. Arsenault was trying to kick that, but he might have been able to flip that ball and then try to kick it. Game is over. Argos fight back, down twice, 10. Back-to-back games play comeback. And McLeod Bethel Thompson is undefeated as a starter. 2 games in. Yes, a small sample size. But don't you feel a legend kind of warming here in Toronto?
He's done it in impressive fashion.
He got a lot of help today from his receivers, from his defense, from that guy. James Wilder Jr., our Nissan Titan Player of the Game, brought to you by Nissan, official vehicle of the Canadian Football League.
Well, you took away all the suspense with that introduction. But let's look at the work of Wilder Jr., and they set the tone with number 32 right from the start of this football game. Opening possession for the Toronto Argonauts. 7 plays, 4 of them went to or were intended to go to James Wilder. Productive out of the gate, helped slow down those pass rushers. Ultimately, he finishes with 22 touches, 139 yards from scrimmage. James Wilder Jr. is today's Nissan Titan Player of the Game.
Suddenly it gets interesting in the East. The Argos, who had what seemed like a Grey Cup hangover, the defending champs, had an awful start to the new season. They're now 3-5. The Lions fall to 3-5. They have their shot. Next week, Toronto's off to Montreal, BC home to Saskatchewan. Week 10 continues later tonight. Montreal and Edmonton. Final score here. The Argos win 24-23. A thriller here at BMO Field on X Day. Here comes SportsCenter.